It's just that the ego is chirping in and saying what it feels, because it's trying to protect something. Usually the identity or the persona is trying to protect something. And I told her, I was like, it's like the negative side, it's saying one thing, and then the positive side, it will counter, it'll have an argument for that, and then the negative side would be like, well, what about this, and then the positive, what about that? She wanted to go and hang out with one of her friends for a little bit, that lives in town, and she doesn't really get to see anybody around here. So I was like, you can go ahead. I said, and so that's what the voice starts. So the negative side was like, well, wouldn't she want to spend time with you if she doesn't get to spend much time? And then the positive voice was like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with, we spent over a week and a half together. There's nothing wrong with taking a few hours and going and hanging out with a friend. Plus, that'll give you time to get some work done, to get some cleaning done, that'll give you some alone time, because I'm just type of person that I need time by myself. Even though I love the people that I'm around, I need time alone. I need time to decompress. I need time just to be in my thoughts. And she knows that. She knows when I need to be. And I'll go and usually I'll sit in the kitchen and do something, or clean, or cook, or I'll do some work on the laptop. But I have to have time where I'm just in my own thoughts, in my own head. And I was like, the positive side was like, well, that'll give you time to do that. And the negative side was like, it was bringing up, negative things. Well, what about this and what about that? The positive side was like, well, yeah, but what about this? And, there's this and there's that. And I'm not going to get into details about what the whole discussion was, but the whole main point to the story is I have never been able to communicate these things before. And because I try to take those two sides and combine them into one and say, well, this is how I'm feeling, but it's not true, because this is how I'm feeling and this is how I'm feeling. Feeling both. They're both going at it. And that's with everything. I think we all have that. We think we all have that all the time. And most of the time, you're not going to want to listen to the negative. The negative is the one that is trying to steer you away from that alignment, from that living in your purpose, living in alignment with your higher self. That negative voice is always out to serve itself, out to protect and serve itself. The ego is self-serving. The ego is completely self-serving. So if you're living in alignment with your ego, you're living in alignment to serve yourself. If you're living in alignment with your higher self, which my higher self was saying, hey, let her go. She wants to hang out. Let her do this. Let her do that. Let her go. That's the voice that you generally want to listen to.